to Be Offended with Joe and Tim.
Hi, Joe.
Hello there, Tim.
Welcome to another episode of Be Offended.
Welcome to the future, because we don't know
when the future already.
It's the future for us.
The future is here?
Yeah. It's the future. It's 2021, maybe? I don't know what time it is, where we are. Who's president? I know nothing. There's nothing I know.
To be fair, Joe, you were the first person to call the election.
I told you.
It was very, very funny that I got a text message at like 10:45 or something, like the day after election day, and he's like, well, I guess Trump's not going to win this one. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, Offended Radio is calling the election before the AP, before MSNBC, before, I was watching we can't do political, but I'll just say that I was watching each individual county light up, but then I was doing the math with which county's population. I was like all in math wise. I had like nothing Steve
better
Kornacki.
to do. Yeah, I was just, if I had my own khakis. It was.
We could have went live.
Nah, fuck that. We've got a lot of stuff. We have a show packed full of goodness.
Okay, well, I had to give credit where credit was due.
Okay.
The fact that now that we're living in the future,
we don't know. Wait. We
predicted the future.
We don't know yet.
You actually accurately predicted the future. By the time the show airs, Biden will already have been sworn.
No. Actually, all you're hearing is American Eagles and bleeping. That's all you heard. so I have so many things that have happened that
in the future.
We're talking about news, right? So this is a good segue about news. I'm reading like articles of all the businesses that have suffered from the stupid COVID bullshit, right? And it's all these restaurants were the biggest things to be hit and blah, blah, blah. And then they start going through like all of these other industries, like, film industry, TV industry, ballet, just all these stage things, anything you go to a concert for,
films.
Anything you want to sit in a theater for. And they start going through the things.
Donkey shows.
So they say, they ripped off a lot of the money on like the yearly making of these things. Like the film industry is like $10 billion,
$14 billion industry or something.
Exactly.
And now,
So ballet, it was $45 million a year. And
wow.
I'm sitting there thinking, are there really that many people still going to see ballet that they make $45 million
Maybe they charge
a year?
$1 million a ticket.
It's probably right. It's just 45 schmucks sitting there.
Like really, really rich schmucks. Like, do you think that's something that's going to die out with the generation?
You thought it would have died out like 45 years ago.
So I'm an old man now. I guess once you have a child,
you're an old man.
For some reason, like you have to watch Jeopardy. Like you have to. Like it's just the rule. Like you have a kid.
And Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
I don't watch Wheel of Fortune. No, okay. That's
too much.
No, that's for incels.
Okay.
Wheel of Fortune is the official show of incels.
Okay. I don't know where that came from.
I watched Jeopardy and like literally every other episode has an entire thing about like opera.
Oh, that's so
like
weird.
Classical music and like where was
because
this
they're hard
born?
questions,
and where was this playwright? And I'm thinking to myself, like, how much longer are they going to be able to do those categories until it's just three people staring at the screen like, like, you know what I mean? Like it's really funny. And like, I'm amazed. Like I don't even have a guess. Like I literally like, but like they'll do things about
quantum
like
physics
poetry or whatever, so like Oscar Wilde, Emily Dickinson. Like there's just these names like you just kind of know like in the zeitgeist, and like 3 out of 5 times like it will be one of those names. But which name? I don't know. Like is it Emily Dickinson? Is it like if they say a man, it's always Walt Whitman. And like 1 out of every 10 times it'll be Walt Whitman. I'm like yes, Walt Whitman. I don't know what Walt Whitman did, but this is the
Rockefeller.
future. Like, are these things supposed to be? Is there value to them? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know what's value to ballet. Ballet.
That's what I'm saying. I don't exactly. Yes.
The modern version of ballet is the Rockettes, right? Like that's as ballet as we get.
It's a classy version of a burlesque show.
Oh, really? You think
right?
it's the can is really what it is?
Yeah, the Rockettes isn't just the Rockettes, just like an hour and a half of Can-Can?
No,
it's just a kick line. So
I don't think it's all
just like
kick
an hour and a
line.
half
I think it's ballet too. I thought it was ballet. I don't know. I've never watched a ballet before. Maybe
I've never watched Rockettes
before. Oh, well. So, yeah, I was looking at that, and that just shocked me that they make $45 million a year.
Yeah, that's interesting, yeah. Because, I feel like that's one that like it should go the way of the VCR.
Yeah.
Or like the CD player or something, like it's just like the ballet is just going to be these things that... I mean, I know people who dance who love dance. I mean, I know
ballet. I know ballerinas that are like super into it, but I'm like,
is anyone else into it?
Yeah, like when I
like
see
fantasy
them
football, like I love it, but no one wants to hear me talk about it or watch me play it.
Yeah, like I see them practicing on a stage that's empty. Like it's like them and dancing, and then there's like four weird old people
there's like
clapping.
Really like big troops, and then they figure like their parents will come. So
know
I
what
figure you have like like let's say you have like a 50-person dance
up.
crew. They probably have two parents each, so you can fill a 100-seat arena with a $1 million
idea. Here we go. We got to switch up ballet. We need it to become like ballet meets reality TV something. We need to have a reality television ballet contest something. You know what I mean? But it has to be like
world's
cutthroat.
Next ballerina or something.
Yeah, it's got to be like that, but it's got to be cutthroat and it has to be like obstacle courses.
They do have So You Think You Can Dance, and there have been people.
Yeah, but they're not ballet.
Who trained in ballet, or they'll do a ballet dance in there. So they do have like. But modern dance is more cross-discipline, but it's very niche. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see.
Was ballet good back in the day, maybe? And now
there was
it's just
nothing
like
else. I think opera and ballet was and all that shit. Like there was nothing else. There was
Shakespeare. Shakespeare was awesome back in the day,
but they didn't have anything else. Like you think if they had football, they'd be watching Shakespeare?
I don't know. You know what else is this?
If they had pornography, do you think they'd be watching like opera?
Pornography changed the world, but. Okay, so
my favorite thing is how anytime there's like a new technology, the first thing it's used for is pornography.
Yeah, exactly.
Like as soon as there's like the printing press, they're like, "Ooh, we can print pictures of naked, like
multiple photos of the same exact woman."
Yeah, and then they had like the videos, and like, "Oh, I bet I can take a picture of my cock." Like,
so, speaking of things that were good back in the day,
$45 million of ballet. So we lost all that. Okay, so
forced segue.
Interesting. Sorry, I just wanted to fit it around back to your point.
That's a lot of fucking money.
But it seems like it is a lot of money, but it also is not a lot lot of money.
Yeah, it's very small considering what the film industry is. But at the same time, I still can't think of enough people for $45 million worth a year of people of ticket sales.
But what's like the industry for like furry conventions, like the furry sex fetish? Like
I don't know.
How much do they add to the economy every year? Like is that less? Like I feel like that's more. I feel like there's more people who buy big costumes to have
feel like
sex
people
and orgies
dress
than there are
up
who like ballet.
As anything is more money than that.
There's more money in cosplay than there is in ballet.
I think there's probably more money in like the Friends dress up recreation week than like ballet.
Is this an episode for my wife? Is that what?
I'm trying to get our audience.
You're trying to get our listeners up, so you're gonna do Friends references, so my wife will listen to it.
So I got another thing is so. When I was young, when we were young, we're about the same age. Going to the movies, I'm
actually almost 1 year older than you.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes.
Respect your elders, Mr. Joe.
Yeah, that's all right. You'll die early. So I had this thing growing up. I grew up right next to a movie theater, and you kind of did too. But I grew up with a very big movie theater right next to where I lived, and I loved going to the movies, and I would go to the movies regardless. And it was a time where I was like, I don't know if I was young or whatever, but I was like, oh, I don't care what movie I'm going to see. I'm just going to go to the theater and watch it in the movies. So it'd be any movie. And I'd be like, oh, this is great. And someone asked me one time, I was like, oh, don't you care what you're watching? I said, no, I just love watching the movies.
Well, how old were you though?
Well, okay. So I'm getting to this.
Because there was a summer that I watched literally like the summer when I was like 12 or 13 years old. Like it was 1996. I was 12 years old. the year of Twister and Independence Day
Yep.
and The Rock.
Yeah.
I probably saw like 55 movies.
So
all we did was go to the movies.
That is exactly my point, is that
We shall be 12 years old
time, I was like, oh my God, every movie's great. But it was that every movie was great. It was Titanic. It was Jurassic Park. It was like that span of like movie going, that like 5 to 7 year span was some of the most iconic movies ever made. So it really didn't matter when you went to the movie theater, because whatever you were going to see was now like a classic. And that just like blew my mind.
There were some stinkers though. That was also around the time of Face Off.
No, Face Off. Ah! Face Off. That's amazing. That's better than Ballet. That's better than anything.
So I found an article that the furries do pump millions of dollars into the local economy.
How much? What is a furry?
There was a furry convention in Pittsburgh in 2016, and an article was written that it was expected to pump millions of dollars into the local economy.
Oh, but they just say
so
millions.
I actually think
it could literally be 3 million.
There is. I think we could make the argument that the furry conventions are actually like more popular and they have more economic activity than Ballet.
Would we not watch furry Ballet? I think we'll watch furry.
No, we wouldn't. No, I wouldn't watch Ballet in any form.
Really? You're that anti-Ballet?
I don't understand.
We need our, like, I know a girl who can come on that can defend Ballet for us. And
no, I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. I just don't need to partake in it. Like it's
it's not like the cheerleading thing where we're going to be a part of it.
It's a private thing between the dancer and their music and their studio.
We can help them stretch.
No, there's plenty of things that exist that just don't need to be popular and watched. That's or sad. And Ballet, I think, is one of them. Dance in general. I mean, I don't know. There's certain dance which is entertaining, but when it comes to Ballet, it's like, oh, look at how pointy her toes are. But anyway, back to the movie. So what are you saying, Joe?
I'm saying that
movies, like you're doing the old man bit where
yes, this is all old man bit.
Movies were actually better when I was younger, and
now they're crap. Well, now we don't have movies at all.
What about the 80s when they had like Rocky and The Breakfast Club and Dazed and Confused?
I'm saying that movies once...
What's that? Fast Time to Ridgemont High? I mean, all terrible movies.
Those are all terrible, classics. Great movies. That's
Caddyshack.
That's a classic. Exactly.
Top Gun. Yeah, terrible movies, but they're all considered classic because of the people
but they're great
when
movies.
They watch them in your life.
They created worlds that we reference for the rest of our lives. That's why they're great movies, regardless of if they're like good
interesting
acting
but is that more of a
pop culture?
But is that more of the result of how there was nothing else? So like Independence Day was amazing, but like there was also like no DVR. There wasn't the internet. So like when Independence Day came out, like you had to go see it.
Yeah.
Where like now things come out, but like there are other options. So like were the movies of the 80s and the 90s as good as they were popular, or were they just popular because there was really nothing else to do?
I beg to. Okay, so I say this.
Why is our podcast not that popular? Like it is popular, but like it's not as popular as it should be. And my theory is because there's just so much competition. If we came out in 1996, we would be the most popular
we would
show.
be kings of the fucking world. We'd be beating Joe Rogan. Who
else would that? Joe Rogan was still sucking his mama's tit in 1996.
Yeah,
he's older than us, though, isn't he?
Well, he's how much? He's only like 10 years older than us. He's not that old. But yeah, I don't know. I looked at it thinking, oh, that was a time when movies are great. But I didn't realize it at the time. And now I look back and I'm like, oh, it was great. I can't look back on the mid and late 2000s and say, oh, that was great. The 2010s or, whatever you call them now. And I'm like, oh, all those movies kind of sucked because they went into franchise world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking the last movies that I really genuinely loved was probably the Lord of the Rings series, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And that was like
Harry Potter,
2000s.
Lord of the Rings.
So you're still coming out of that late 90s movie boom.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, but after Marvel came
as someone in the industry, Joe.
I'm not in the industry.
No, the sex industry.
Yes.
Is it because of what? Like the stories have all been told? Is it a matter of like people, I think it's competing for eyeballs. Like the thing is like, and even my stupid friend who loves every single fucking podcast in the entire world but ours, like he knows what he's getting. Like when it's like a podcast about nickels, he's like, oh, like here's this podcast, and like they talk about like the different nickels they've pressed over the years.
We didn't mention the P word, so he's still listening.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? But like he knows what he's getting. And like, so if you put out a movie that's like Dusk, like, well, what the fuck is Dusk? But you put out
that's why
Spider-Man. It's like, well, I know who Spider-Man is. Like, I guess I'll leave my house to go see Spider-Man.
That's why that movie failed. We've talked about it before. John Carter. That movie.
Oh yeah,
that was
which apparently is amazing.
Yeah, it was like a 300.
You love
something.
John Carter. All you do is talk about how good John Carter is.
No, I don't. No. John Carter wasn't a good movie to begin with.
Wait, no. Oh, sorry. No, you talk about Johnny Mnemonic. No, who's my
John Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick is phenomenal.
John Wick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know.
Yeah. See, but John Carter was a movie that Disney produced, and it cost. I think it cost almost $500 million total to for P&A and making the movie, and the title was just John Carter, and no one gave a fuck about that title, and the movie bombed. And it wasn't going up against anything bigger per se. It was just there was a fresh face lead actor, and there was no information about the movie. It was just John Carter. So
what was that? Jack Reacher, that's based on
But Jack,
that's based on a bunch of Tom Clancy novels or something. But if you don't know that it's a bunch of Jack, then you do who the fuck is Jack Reacher?
However, it was with Tom Cruise. So that offsets
Tom Cruise
anything.
gets people in the door, but still, I didn't realize when that movie came out. I thought that was like a Mission Impossible, and then I found out it was actually
Tom Clancy,
this Jack Reacher is like this character in 1,000 books. Or
you don't know how much you love Tom Clancy until you've realized 14 of your favorite movies are actually based off of John Clancy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's people. I'm not sure that the movies are to blame. I think back then, people would be like, oh, this is interesting. Where right now, it's almost like the Brian Regan, so one of my favorite comedians, but he talks about when he's on a radio show that people go to his comedy shows to hear old jokes that they love and be like, yep, that's the joke I love. And
that's when people go to see Seinfeld.
Yeah. People don't want to be surprised. People actually want to go. Exactly what a Marvel movie is going to be from beginning to end. They're all exactly the same. There's excitement within there, but the story arc is you've one story arc and it's okay, this one's going to be Iron Man, this one's going to be the Hulk, this one's going to be Spider-Man, but it's the same story arc every time. And we love that shit.
I don't love it. That's boring.
Well, we as in Americans, as in
the
society.
We. The
I mean, I said it before. Godzilla, the King of the Monsters.
I still haven't watched that, by the way.
Oh, I watch it every fucking time, but it wasn't
good.
No, it was great, but it was just not what I expected. So when I first watched it, I'm like, and then I watch it over and I appreciate it for what it is and what it did. And I think I think we're to blame, Joe. I think that's.
Wait. Be Offended Radio is to blame.
No, it's just yeah.
I'm just going to take everything as us. Nothing exists outside of our show.
That's true.
Yeah. So what goodness do you have? Do you have any show notes? You had some kind of notes.
I mean, do we start a new topic this late into the break?
All we've talked about is ballet and movies. We have room for a third.
Well, you're on fire with this, Joe. You're very excited.
I'm because there's all kinds of things happening in my life that lets me sit around and ponder stupid shit. I've had a lot of driving in the past, month. So while I'm driving, I just think of shit, and I also listen to us. So. It's a complete circle.
It's actually hard not to go into the ditch.
just that hard right turn right into the pole.
Well, I mean, we could talk about. I think we do this bit every year, but Pornhub always releases their favorite
porn of the year,
the most popular searches.
Oh yeah, we did that. I feel like we did that recently.
Well, this year they released the most popular searches during the election week.
Oh,
so that includes,
was it like Milena versus some old bag? What was it?
Delaware searched election.
Really? People are actually wanting to watch porn.
Louisiana.
Oh my God.
Searched Popeyes. That was the most popular search.
Can we correlate that with the obesity rate? Can we see what the cholesterol height is in America? Is there a giant bullseye?
Connecticut, wedgie.
Wedgie? What the fuck is this? Are these top searches?
Oregon was succubus.
I don't know what that is. I don't think I want to know what that is.
I'm gonna find out.
I'm not gonna put that in my search browsing.
Succubus is a female demon believed to have intercourse with sleeping men.
Ooh, wait a second. Never mind. That might be fun.
Okay.
That's
Hawaii was 808.
What the fuck is 808? Like the beat 808 beat? What's 808? Is that some
Per Urban Dictionary, it is the penal code for disturbing the peace.
What the fuck? These are horrible. I don't remember them ever being this ridiculous.
Michigan was face sitting.
Okay, that's semi-normal. At least it's sexual.
Alaska was No Nut November.
Of course. They're in perpetual November, though, so I don't know how much that
North
affects
Dakota was pumpkin.
What? Is it American Pie, only it's pumpkin pie now?
And your personal favorite, Mississippi,
was
prawn. P-R-O-N.
Wait, what?
Prawn, like
our
prawn
thing?
hub. Like you can find Be Offended Radio on Pornhub, but Joe, like a moron with his fat fingers, typed out prawn hub. And apparently we have a lot of fans in Mississippi.
Oh
and
my
the
God.
Number one search
Wait a
during
second.
election
We've affected Mississippi.
Was prawn. P-R-O-N. People went into Pornhub to find prawn.
Look at that.
So there you go, Joe.
We are famous.
Yep, in Mississippi. We're going to have to go down there and tour.
Son of a bitch.
So, okay. Take a break?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what time it is, what year it is. I don't know where we are.
Oh, we're in the future. Or we're in the past.
We're in the future. Okay, we'll be back. Looking for more talk radio? You can listen to all of Season 2 of The Inappropriate Guys right now on BeOffendedRadio.com. And we're back!
We are back, and I don't know if we reminded our listeners in a while that we've been doing this show separately for this entire season.
We have? Oh.
What?
What's on my cock? Oh, never mind.
Joe put a picture of me on his fleshlight.
That's the Be Offended Radio sex doll.
The picture of Tim. So apparently, I don't know, maybe this has ever happened to you or happened to our listeners, but have you ever been peed on and you didn't realize until it hit your foot?
Wait, what? What?
I'm doing this show in my pajamas right now because before we did this show, I was trying to get my son ready for his bath.
Oh, this is baby talk.
And I had no idea that he was peeing on me. And then all of a sudden my foot is wet and I look down and my shirt, because like, you know how, well, maybe not for you, but for skinny people, the shirt like kind of hangs on the side, like, you know, cause you have obliques, so your obliques go in. So your shirt is like more cylindrical. So like where your muscles go in, your shirt goes out. So apparently the baby had peed all over that part of my shirt, all the way down my pants. And I did not realize that he was peeing on me until it hit my fucking foot. And I was covered.
That's disgusting.
Covered in pee.
I've got a pee story.
I'm sitting in my pajamas doing the podcast right now. And I just wanted to announce that because me and Joe used to do it together in the same room. Yeah. And we'd be in, of course, nude. Yeah.
This is more clothing than we're used to.
But, because I was peed on, I felt I needed the comfort of my pajamas.
I miss dressing up. I miss wearing that maid outfit.
I said it. I'm telling you, all those Hermeses and shits, they're going out of business. There's no way that people they can't survive it. Like, what's the point of having all these nice things? Like, even jeans. I'm like putting on jeans now, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I should just order like a bunch of those like fucking towel pants and just be like, maybe like those fucking guinea suits, you know, like those fucking bright, like I'm fucking like I'm John Gotti and fucking
Adidas striped track suit,
Don Gotti and fucking Howard Beach, you know, just wearing like my fucking Adidas like fucking guinea suit, you know, like I don't know.
It's 21 Jump Street. That's what it is.
Are you allowed to say guinea suit, right? Because those people are. You're an Italian. I'm allowed to say that?
Yeah. I'm allowed to say it. You're not. That's a word for my people.
Oh, okay. I have to apologize.
Edward.
What?
Well, listen, I can't say it, so you know.
Wow, you shouldn't want to. Oh my gosh,
I'm saying nice. Speaking of things that are going the way of the dodo,
what are you doing with these dead segues? Is there like some bingo card out there somewhere? Like,
it's at this point. It's all
speaking
I live
of
for.
words,
no. There's a segue. Watch this
Here's
one.
Another sentence.
Watch this fucking segue. It's going to be brilliant.
Oh my god.
Speaking of things that are going the way of the dodo,
which is what the guinea suits or the baby peeing all over me.
So,
and I have no idea until it hits my toe. That's the thing. Like,
I've got two stories.
I've
got two stories.
Man, Joe, but I'm like, oh man, the baby peed on my feet, and I looked down and I was covered in pee, and I had no idea that I was covered in pee. You know what it's like to be covered in pee and have no idea you're being covered in pee?
I do. No, I don't. Well, okay, so
not for sex purposes.
I'm gonna do this in chronological order of story, since our listeners are gonna go crazy at our ADD. I think I told you this story, but not on the show. And if I did, then fuck it all. Nobody listens anyway.
It's the best of.
Yeah.
We told this story before. It's the best of episodes.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I had a girlfriend when I moved into my first apartment, and she lived with me, and she was a little weird. I kind of like, okay, she didn't live with me. She just never left. I didn't make that decision. She did. All of a sudden, she was just there every day and decided to like stop going to college. It was very weird. She was hot and crazy, but it was very weird.
Did you have like a laundry machine there? Like, didn't you realize when like
she was just using me for my laundry machine?
No. And I meant like, did you have laundry as in like, because if you have laundry in premises, it's easier for someone to just stay indefinitely. But like if they have to leave to clean their clothes, it's really hard to like secretly move in with somebody.
Okay, so she planned like a 3-day weekend to stay over, but she brought like one of those suitcases that could definitely hold a lot more than 3 days worth of clothing. And she just kind of stayed. Also, she was like naked half the time she was there anyway. So their clothing wasn't really a thing.
Oh, Joe.
I mean, it's true. I'm not making this shit up. And this is in my glory days, my early 20s. So I was learning all the weird things about her. And one day we're in the shower together. And
probably must have been your skinny days too.
Yeah. And she just started to pee, and like pee on my feet. And I'm literally in the shower, and I look dead in her eyes, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What?" She had no idea that this was not something you should do.
Wait,
when
you
you're
should not pee on your feet.
Together.
You should not pee in the shower.
Like, she thinks that peeing in the shower is okay, which I do, but
peeing in the shower is
okay. Like, you don't pee in the shower with your significant other. Like,
that's true.
Like, there's this unwritten rule of you can pee in the shower alone. You cannot pee in the shower with someone else.
In season 1, we had one of our special guests was Kristen, the badass honor student.
Oh, okay.
I was still in college. Well, she's now, of course, grown up and married. So her husband Bill, I'm not sure if they were married yet, but they lived together, and they had a one bedroom, one bathroom, and apparently she was in the shower and he came in to shit.
Oh no! Yeah, these are like the unwritten rules. Yeah,
no. So now it's officially the Bill rule. We call it the Bill rule, that you don't ever in any circumstances shit with somebody in the same room. So that would be breaking the Bill rule. So like you can my wife can pee when I'm in the shower. I can pee while she's brushing her teeth. That's all fine. But like if they're shitting, like the door is closed and you're alone. Like you don't like no shower curtain can possibly make enough distance when you're shitting, and that is the Bill rule. So this adds to that is you cannot pee in the shower on someone else's fucking feet while you're trying to get clean. Maybe she was into that. Maybe was she trying to see if you were into that? Maybe I have no idea. Maybe that was the way she tries it out. That was like testing the waters, pun intended. What the fuck? I don't want that. That's a good one, Joe. I really don't. That's a good way to find out. You're already in the showers. Like better than putting. Ooh, what show was that? I'm trying to think. It was like Opie and Anthony. What was one of those Sirius XM shows, and one of the characters, like the interns or the workers, was into pee play, and like they just and all of the the prep that has to go into pee play, like it's really not worth it. Yeah, it's gonna be like you have to plastic everything, or you just keep rebuying couches. Apparently, like the porn shoots do. So the couches. So this is even a better segue now. Are we done with the pee talk? I'm segueing. so another there's more to the pee talk. Okay, there's when we listen back to this episode, I'll be like, you know what? I would have liked another 4 minutes of pee talk. No. So the other part of the segue was things going the way of the dodo, and now we're talking about prepping and safetying things. So I was thinking about like things that like, okay, we talked about last time, ventriloquists, where like their jobs are like fucked, like that because of the masks, masks. Like that's just fucked. We're all ventriloquists now? Yeah, like that doesn't, there's no mystery. There's no wait. Has anyone done that bit yet? You've literally said that the last time we talked about it. No, but like why are we not now going to Washington Square Park? Oh, and just doing that with the ventriloquist dummy with the mask on. And the mask. And why are we not YouTubing that shit? That's great. And just doing a ventriloquist. Like why? Like seriously, like why are we not just doing like, hey, look at this fatso? And it's just me like wearing a fucking mask on with a ventriloquist dummy, and like I'm just moving. You talking. Why is no one has done that as far as I know? Because that would go viral. God. That would go so viral. How did like John Oliver or like TikTok. Trevor Noah or somebody not do that? Yeah. Well, apparently. So the other business that I was thinking about was these mattress places. Like, wasn't it fun when you were looking for a mattress to go into a mattress place and like just lay on all the beds where like thousands of other people have laid before? And that they're not always cleaning. My bed, Joe. Yeah. I'm a stud. That's right. If you're laying in my bed, you're laying where thousands of others have laid before. Thousands of others peed. Not you or shower. Yeah. And so I'm thinking like, oh man, like how do people test out mattresses now? Are they allowed to lay on mattresses? Or is that like a thing? Because like the MATTRES, leave off the last S for savings thing, I don't see that commercial anymore. I don't see where mattresses are coming from. Is it all just purple mattresses? Explain to me these things. I don't know what's going on, but I think mattress. I went to IKEA. We got a new couch during the pandemic, so we went to couch surfing. Yeah, so we went to the Macy's Furniture Gallery because we got a love sack sponsor us. And they have a showroom inside the Macy's Furniture Gallery. So we went, and there were a ton of people there testing out at least this furniture, because I don't think you get a disease like through your butthole. So I'm pretty sure. No, that's not true. You get diseases through your butthole. We've confirmed that on this show. Butthole, anally, orally, it's all connected. So I think like, because even before that, like when you lay down the mattress, like they'd give you like a special like almost like a a sanitary pad, like so you didn't have to put your head on the same thing where like everyone else put their head in case they have like lice or shit or something. So like,
really,
I don't think it affects the
mattress industry.
No, I think people are still going and they're probably still laying and trying out the
I don't know. I'm still scarred by the fucking oil on the Pornhub fucking video that I can't unsee that anymore. And now all I think of is like, well, if that's a big deal, then what else is a big deal? Big deal to everybody's COVID right now. And I'm like, wait, the vaccine might be out. We can't even talk about this. We're not allowed to talk about this anymore. The vaccine's coming or here.
It's still or we're all dead
to inoculate everybody.
Yeah, so they still have to worry about those mattress salesmen.
Okay, those scheming. You remember that used to also be a thing where like a mattress salesman was close to being like a used car salesman, where they would like push you on mattresses. Do you remember that when we were younger?
Purchased a mattress? How did you get your mattress? Did you actually go and do the whole mattress thing?
I did. I fell in love with IKEA mattresses. I can't pronounce it for the fucking life of me, but they have like a mattress line that I really like, and I've been buying them ever since.
How many mattresses do you go through?
well, obviously I keep having weird girlfriends who piss on things. so I got to keep chucking these out.
Yeah, I mean, mattress purchasing is really not fun because like it's the ultimate like long-term purchase.
Yeah, it's longer than a car.
Singletary, you know, so and like a car, like there's different things that you're thinking about, like the look of it. Like
there's one track mind. No, there's
like
a 2-track mind for a bed.
Yeah. When it comes to a bed, like it's very much like, am I going to want to sleep and have sex in this bed?
Yes.
For like the next 15 years.
Exactly.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why they were pushy. I don't know if they still are. We need to have like some kind of person to come on and talk about their mattress purchases. I just think that that's like something that might not be the same anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to Google it to look up any research because then I'm just going to have like
a mattress ads forever.
Yeah, someone posted that bit and it was the funniest thing where like they ordered like a toilet on Amazon, a toilet seat, and then it's like 1,000 toilet seat ads. Like, you bought this toilet seat. Oh, perhaps I can assist you in this one. It's like that happens all the time. It's like a lot of these purchases, like Mr. Algorithm, are like, they're one-time purchases, you know, like,
you don't need
not for nothing. Like, you know,
yeah.
If you order like a pregnancy kit or something like on Amazon, like you probably don't need more. Like it's usually like a one-time, like, you know.
What they should do is push you birth control pills.
Yeah, but they don't. They just they push the same thing you just ordered. And it's like.
No, so I got a weird thing. This isn't on my show notes, but you just sparked a memory. This is a random moment.
Random moment. Brought to you by Being Offended Radio.
That alarm is
unscripted.
Going off.
Unfiltered. No point.
No point is right. 2 days ago, I'm on Instagram as I do.
Wait, is this the future or 2 days ago in the past?
Whatever timeline we are in this alternate universe,
prior to recording the show.
You know what this is like? This is like when Lost all of a sudden started doing flashbacks and flash forwards.
We have no idea what's happening.
I have no idea where we are, what's going on.
It's the Jeremy Bury Me. Did you watch The Good Place yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. This is the Jeremy Bury Me. This is the eye above. This is the dotted eye. Anyway, okay.
All
so
right.
at some point you did something on Instagram.
Something happened somewhere on the Instagram. Okay, and so I'm getting these ads and then I flopped over to Facebook and then I kept getting these ads because they're tied. It's the same company. And I'm on Facebook and I'm getting these weird ads that are eBay ads because I do a lot of eBaying.
That's still a thing?
Oh yeah. But
what's it like you and like three guys? It must be really good
Ballet
deals on there.
No. And it's drug paraphernalia.
Oh.
And I'm trying to figure out what on earth did I do that all of a sudden the algorithm thinks that I'm getting into meth.
Maybe they saw your McDonald's order and they thought you were just like extrapolating from other or something. Yeah.
But it was like.
Did your veneers fall off? They saw your teeth? They thought you had like meth teeth or something?
It's like, it was just like the weirdest fucking thing. And I was like, wait, why am I getting all these drug things all of a sudden out of nowhere? And it's just like weird shit. Like someone must have logged in somewhere under my account.
Because that happened. I got my Chase account the other day. Got some foreign login.
Oh, that's scary. Change everything.
I spent a lot of time. I had to like call everybody up, and they're trying to reset my password. I'm like, that's not my phone number. Like, did someone just change the phone number? Yeah, it was scary.
Oh no, this is gonna be my parents' thing all over again.
Yeah, no, I got an email. I'm like sitting there. It was like 7:00, and I'm looking at my emails. At like 4:48, it's like, you just changed your email address. Oh. Please let us know if this wasn't you. I'm like, no, fuck, it wasn't me. But I didn't click through the email in case that was also a trick. Spam. Yeah, so I called them up, and I was just like, it took a while. So now for like the third time this year, they canceled my fucking credit card.
Oh my
so like,
God.
I literally, I'm sitting here as I'm podcasting. I have a list of all the subscriptions I have to fucking update when they send me my new credit card, including Podbean, where we host our podcast. So listeners, if there's a blackout this month, you'll know it's because my credit card was hacked, and now I didn't get my new one in yet, and I was unable to update my credit card information. So
if you're hacking Tim's credit card, please buy.
It's one of those things though, like you really need the 2-factor authentication, and I just would like I'm like, yeah, who's gonna do it? And then like it's just the odds. Like you just literally like it's all this internet shit. It's just like there's nothing with safety. It's just are they going to steal from you today? Yeah. And the odds are against, because there's so many people and so many accounts, like that you're probably not going to be stolen from in any given day. But like that's the only thing that's stopping. It's like they just haven't gotten to your account. Like they started they started with the A's people. And like your email starts with T. So it's gonna take a while to get there. Like
it's your time eventually. That's one of those things too. It's like I think the internet is just going to get worse and worse right now because that's all everybody's doing. So it's prime time to steal everybody's information. Everybody's ordering everything online. Like that's.
I think they need to. They really need to just shut down the internet at some point. Like they need to just go back to. They need to go back to like it's just a vehicle like.
It should just be text messages. That's it.
Well, no, like just video, just pornography and like music.
I love how it backtracked. It's just pornography.
Well, like pornography, music, and produce news. Like this, all this social media stuff is like. With great power comes great responsibility.
You know what? The nightly news, that's real news. That's just stuff
produce
that's reported
news, like
already.
the nightly news. I'm saying like produce
not
news,
CNN 24/7.
Yeah, produce news like the nightly news. Like someone actually sat there
and just
they like
read what happened.
They have like an editorial board, and they're like, the CNN's
not speculating on what's going to happen, but actually just reading what already happened.
Yeah, like there was a fire in California today, and there was
3
like an
cats were stuck
in Japan.
Do cats get stuck in trees anymore? Did the fire department come and save cats? They've given up on
that. I think there was budget cuts and they got rid of all the fire. The cats are on their own now.
Cats are on fuck the cats.
I was saying to my wife today though, like the worst thing about like the algorithms is like there's no
policing.
No, like it's just like it doesn't exist. Like if we're like if you listen to our podcast, like the algorithm will suggest other podcasts, or if you listen to other podcasts, they might suggest our podcasts. But like if you listen to, like outside of what the algorithm thinks we're similar to, you don't know we exist. And like that's crazy. Like the fact that like that things exist and like you never know it exists because like the algorithm only tells you things that are similar to what you like.
Yeah, it's the bubble.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Like how did we think this would be okay? Where like you're just not gonna like. You read this story about President Trump, like you'll love this story about President Trump.
I don't know. I see the opposite side of it because I would have never owned that land in Scotland if the algorithm didn't tell me.
Yeah, the sucker algorithm, exactly. They got you pegged for a grade A sucker. Yeah.
So like there's some great things that has been pushed to me through the algorithm. So I don't know. I'm on the opposite side. I'm gonna have to fight you, Mr. Biden. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go against this and say false news.
And I think it's absolutely crazy that like you would log into your homepage and my homepage would have totally different things, and like I would never see what you saw. Yeah. So like we just live in a separate world where like you think the 10 most important things of the day are 10 things that I have no idea exist, and vice versa. Like,
have
I
you
just
ever
don't know
had
how
someone accidentally use your Netflix profile before? And you're like, wait, what the fuck is this?
So because we have a baby now, like people come over to watch the baby all the time. So like they just use our like they're not going to log out of all the streaming services. Yeah. So that's exactly what it is. Like, because you've watched X, you like this. I'm like, holy shit. Like, they don't know if I'm like a 70-year-old woman or like a 20-year-old like teenager. They have like no idea. Like the algorithm is like freaking out.
One day my mother accidentally logged into mine.
Oh my God.
I start getting all these like home cooking show things. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here?
At least you didn't log into her. She gets all these like anal sex fucking exposés.
No, mine's all
like
just like
P-tapes.
Action movies and
P-tapes.
What's a P-tape? Oh, P-tape.
A P-tape, a tape of people peeing.
Oh, okay. That's the lingo, P-tape. Yeah. So it's like that's also algorithm. That's like, oh, you watched, Chef whatever. Now here's 40 other videos of the same thing. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, but that's why in the summer of 1996, you saw Twister and you saw Independence Day and you saw Mission Impossible.
I saw those regardless. I just went in blindly and was like, what's in the movie theater today? Oh,
yeah,
but
what would the algorithm have told you? Like, if you watched Twister, like, would it have told you to watch Independence Day? Or it's like, no, you like disaster movies, so you don't like sci-fi.
I you know what? I don't even think back then they could have categorized these movies because they were so different and original. Like now everything has like, I think those movies in the 80s and 90s created genres that now exist.
Interesting.
But I don't think that genres existed then to the extent that they do now. Like they're like, for instance, just action movies in general. Like when you saw action, it was just like, Van Damme movie, and that's action. But now we have like very specific genres within action. It's not just action. It's sci-fi. It's
part of
thriller,
the expense. Like things are so expensive now. Like you need to have like an exact, again, like it's like the podcast. Like, if like, you can have a podcast, but if you have a podcast about like the fucking history of pickles, then like people know
you're gonna have
like, like we've done market research and people love pickles, so like we're gonna fund your podcast about pickles. Where like back then, like the movie budgets were low enough that like you can just get it made. Where now like because it's so expensive, like you need to have
you have to have it.
You have to have a pre-existing audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people love superheroes. You have a superhero movie, we'll fund it. But like, do people love stories about like an orphan who take out to be a psychic? Like, well, maybe not. Like, how much is your budget? 100 million. Fuck you. Like,
like look, take some of these movies that were huge. Like again, Face Off and The Rock, and like these movies that are just like epically out there. If you explain that to someone now, they would look at you and be like, "What?" Like they can't categorize that into an audience that they can profit off of. But back then they created that. So I think that's where it comes down to is like, all that stuff, genres were created in the 80s and 90s. And that's why we watch what we watch now. There was only like 4 genres of entertainment before like the 80s, like going from the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, there was crime, drama, love, and racism. And like that was all there really was. There wasn't anything else other than like those things. If you watch all those movies from the 40s,
and by racism, Joe means comedy.
Yeah. Which is the same thing.
It's just the same thing to Joe.
Yeah. So it's like, now we have like these subgenres of comedy.
But do people rage against the machine eventually? Like, dude, is it like, the scene? Is it like the scene in, those movies where like they all come out after the storm, or like, they're the pod people and then they're all freed, and then like they come out and they kind of rub their eyes and they like look out and they see sunshine for the first time. Like, are people going to somehow discover things outside of the algorithm and then like like rage against the algorithm, or like are we so deep into that like it's just going to become worse?
I would love to see the internet like officially just crash for like a month. Not like a week, a month. I think it would take a full month for people to go from panic, chaos. Oh, this maybe isn't so bad. Hey, let's go outside. Oh,
But
look,
what
there's
about
a beach.
what about like Google Maps? Is that still going to be up?
Oh no, I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And is this during
I can't do it
football
outside.
season? Because I'm going to need my fancy football stats. So
Yeah.
when is this going out? Like
well,
late,
GPS doesn't have to
like-
be internet.
like late February? Like if it, from like February 15th to like
Yeah,
March 15th.
but wait a second. Then why
That's
don't
a
you
good
just
time.
go buy football tickets? Why don't you just go to the games?
Well, I can't go to all 16 games and keep track of all the scores myself.
Then do what we used to do. You turn on the radio and you listen to the game.
No, but you still need to keep track of the fantasy football scores.
There's TV. I didn't say get rid of TV.
No,
Just go back
I'm
to
watching
TV.
football, but then do you not know what fantasy football is?
I don't know anything about football. There's a hockey team.
Fantasy football is you have
there's
players who are real.
football
and then
teams.
Okay. The point
Soccer.
is, if the internet was shut down, we need fantasy football. We need Google Maps and podcasts.
We'll deliberate on this.
Okay, so if a partial shutdown the internet,
Yeah, I would say a full.
which
shutdown
goes back
of
to my
the-
original point. It's full circle. All the internet should be is pornography, produce nightly news, and audio, which is podcasts slash
music.
And fourth thing is sports scores and fantasy football based on said sports scores. That's
you know
it.
what? I bet you there's a way that you could algorithm your internet to only give you that anyway.
Yeah, but everyone needs it because we
Yeah.
need to improve society, and improving society would be you log on, you're like,
Oh
ooh,
my God.
let's see what happens today. Oh, there's a tax cut. Oh, and the Dolphins won. Oh, and here's a fat cock.
Wait, why is it a cock?
Well, because they're listening to our podcast.
Oh, okay. Penis. Mike is no longer listening. And on that note,
He made it an hour today. No,
yeah, I think we did something. This has been a conversation.
enlightening.
Yeah, it's been a lot of things. So
Well, you spent a lot of time in the car, so you're a little
Homework.
lonely, I think. And I was peed on today. Like when you spend a lot of time traveling in a car and you spend a lot of time being peed on, I feel like sometimes you just need a friend.
I have people. I've seen more people in the past month than I have all year. So I'm not lonely at all, actually.
But do they
I've been hanging
understand you,
around.
Joe? Do they
Oh,
understand
they do.
you like your podcast
They understand
host?
me more than you do, actually.
Really?
We hung out. We had fun. I had a grand old time. I'm going back.
Okay. Well, if you want to get your dick sucked,
Yeah.
hi Joe.
Yeah. No, not by me.
Email us.
Email us at angryhatemail@gmail.com. Find us everywhere at Be Offended Radio.
We're Be Offended Radio on Twitter, Be Offended Radio
Everything.
on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel. We
Amazon
have a Pornhub. The
Prime.
Pornhub is the inappropriate guys.
Yeah, that's the one thing that still lives on. I think it should
and-
always live on. I think that keeps the alive.
Well, we are the inappropriate guys.
Yeah.
I
just
actually wanted to
rebranded.
rebrand the show as Be Offended Radio featuring the inappropriate guys.
Oh my
which-
God. No, it just gets longer.
Oh, I know. I think it was Be Offended Radio starring the inappropriate guys featuring Joe and Tim. I don't know who was it. I forget. It was really stupid.
Well, wait. It was. What about Macho and Jocko? We need Macho and
I
Jocko.
can't do
as
the
well.
voice right now. I think I'm a
Okay,
little-
Macho and Jocko. And,
I need like a lot of energy to do the Macho and Jocko voice.
And oh yeah, and
And Macho Man Randy Savage.
the censor guy, the old censor guys, and
Billy and Dingus.
yeah, Billy and Digga. We got a TV show. We're gonna have it. We're gonna make millions. We're gonna be rich.
Okay, and then you can all fuck yourselves.
Yeah, and everybody can go fuck themselves, and
Yeah.
we'll sit in a yacht with Joe Rogan smoking cigars.
Wait, we have one yacht together.
One yacht together. We have to share a yacht. We can't make that much money. this is
That's just what people picture.
We're in
Like
strange
all
times.
all those duos, like Brooks and Dunn, or Opie and Anthony, or like Penn and Teller. Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
assume like they just always spend time
They
together.
always
it's like
live together,
One
yeah.
yacht, like the two of
Yeah.
them are sitting there, like just like sitting next to each other, like tanning. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I found out that oh God,
Sick
what was-
Figure Boy, or
No. Well, Siegfried and Roy actually did, but that's a rare case. Oh God, MythBusters. Adam Savage and
yeah.
What's his face?
They didn't live in bunk beds?
No, but that's the thing. Like, you grew up always thinking that they were like always together and always friends, and they fucking hated each other. But they were so good on TV and so educational that you loved watching them. But yeah,
BFN radio, the rare duo that doesn't hate each other.
Yeah, well, we are miles and miles away from each other.
Hence why we don't hate each other.
Yeah. This is the right way to do it.
Makes the hardcore founder.
Yeah, gives you a bigger boner. Okay,
we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll give you something better next time.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, I have more ghost stories later.
Nope.